What is good, Lone? This is the first time seeing of this ZZZ gameplay, but I gotta watch my mirror back. I'm also looking at the RX gameplay. Just in time, said Lone. Just in time. Oh, buttons pressing. It be what it is. It be what it is. Oh, I forgot the thing. Yeah. Ah. Okay. I gotta get my water also. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, have I got things to talk to you about. We got anime. We got... yeah. It's kind of just anime, I guess. It's not even a bit... We'll be fine. It'll be fine. I kind of already rambled at you guys when it comes to the whole PC debacle, but that'll probably be a chunk of this stream as well. Sorry in advance. Yeah. But is the beta upload? Is the beta that's going on right now, is that a thing? I feel like I look darker than normal, but anyways. Is the beta available? I think when I typed in some gameplay for ZZZ or new gameplay, this is what popped up, and I'm like, okay, huh. I still don't really know the plot of this game, but yeah. I do dislike that, MiHoYo, despite their billions of dollars, have not given us the ability to make a character look the way we want them to look. Instead, we have to choose between emo boy or, yeah, it's basically like woman or good enough, and yeah, it's the choice that we get, which is not exactly my preference, but still. What is good, Cloud? Cloud says, what's up? How are you? I'm doing better now that you're here, Cloud. How are you? Lone is here with us too. Fluff is here as well. Fluff! Holy shit. Fluff, you saved me yesterday, man. I was spinning my wheels because Red wasn't replying. And Red is what we kind of mainly started to use as far as the build goes, because I don't know. It just felt like the motherboard is excessive. Also, I thought that the motherboard had something in it that I thought was... I don't know. There's this... the video I watched recently, which almost looks like the identical same motherboard that I got, and the person said there was like a capture card built into the motherboard, and I was kind of like, what? What does that mean? Despite me be doing a lot of YouTube and streaming stuff, I forget what capture card really means. I thought it was just like a way for you to capture your screen. I don't know. But I'm also interested, Fluff, in the thing that you talked to me in passing, and like a mind virus, it sits there. And you basically said that we could do multi-streaming with, not multi-streaming, sorry, dual PC play, basically. So like one PC is mainly just focusing on rendering OBS or whatever I'm using. And then we can have one PC entirely dedicated to games, which I think we'll do. I just think it's probably going to be a little bit of hoops that I got to jump through, and maybe a little bit more money that I got to spend in order to get all that done. But yes. Also, the most complicated part, Fluff, I wanted to ask you this as well, just before we get deep into like random topics. The most complicated thing when I was watching a PC like build thing was, it seems like putting in the RAM, putting in the cards and all that stuff seem relatively simple when it comes to building your PC. The thing that it seems quite complicated is when you're plugging in your power supply plugs to the motherboard. That's where I'm like, am I plugging it into the right thing? And that's probably where you probably need to slow down. I might actually try to find a video specifically about that. For those guys who don't know, I recently just made a gigantic purchase for myself, at least. Some people might be used to dropping this kind of money, and that's great. I am not. I've been saving for 4 years. I bought a gaming PC that's pretty okay. Apparently, Red was saying it's about like 2 to 3 times better than what I currently have, which is wild, because what we already have is kind of good already at doing stuff, but this should be more than enough, especially for some of the VR stuff that I want to do. So, yes, very excited. Hopefully it works out. All that. Meh. I still have a monitor that's only 75 refresh rate, so, you know, beggars can't be choosers, all that, but still. Lone says, dang, just gonna start the stream. And I'm sorry, Lone, I had to use the washroom real quick. Maybe I shouldn't have started the stream, but then I feel like it's people have like a minute of like starting soon, you know? Very rarely are they like me, who is like starting soon, and we're back, and we're in it immediately. Lone says, not fluff. Cloud says, I'm doing great, thanks for asking. What you be playing though, Cloud? Are you excited for ZZZ or any other game coming out in the next little bit? Also, I just got a comment on one of my videos, the last H3 stream that we did. A person was like, oh, you used a modded thumbnail, like gear that's modded in the thumbnail, but you're playing vanilla. And then I was like, I don't know that. It's my 4th time playing the game. I just thought I seen a cool the screenshot, and I was like, cool, that could be a fun screenshot. And yeah. But we will eventually mod it, so I don't feel too bad. So yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, maybe, probably, hopefully. I do have a video idea that I don't want to spoil, but fuck it. I don't know why it was cracking me up, but I seen that in H3, this like hyper complex gun game, that's amazing. There is this, there's like a pistol mod, but it's got the Agui like white spray paint coat on it, essentially, and it's a Glock. And I thought, wouldn't it be so funny to do one of those videos that is like such a thing within the VR community, which is like John Wick, realistic gunfight stuff, except the title is going to be John Wick. Either it's going to be John Wick if he's a pervert, or John Wick if he was a pervert, which I think is going to be great. It's going to be a thumbnail of that, like super tactical, but also still this. And I'm going to edit in all these weird sounds when I'm reloading, and I'm still going to play it like it's hopefully going to be badass. Like it's still going to be like I'm going to do a 60 runs of a level until I get some cool gameplay of me nuking people, and I'm going to be doing it all with a stupid gun. I think it's going to be a fun video. Hopefully it's not cringe. Anyways. It's on the list of things to do. Lone says, women is always the right choice on main character when it comes to Hoyo games. I don't know about that. I feel like we all were in agreement that if the main character in Genshin, who would you rather choose? The main woman in Genshin or the main dude in Genshin if he was not a dude? You would choose the main dude character. Absolutely looks better in every conceivable way. A better outfit, better everything. Fluff says, you'll see... Oh, wait, no. Fluff says, I'll pick the guy for a few reasons. I'll usually pick male characters from past experiences. Whoever you don't play as is the one you hear from more. That's true. That is true. 5D chess coming in with Fluff is true. It is true. I did not think about that. I think we've heard Aethel once, and that's him saying Lumine. Yeah. Fluff says you'll see the female protag and actually hear her speak. Exactly. 5D chess, Lone, and vice versa for playing the female character. Yeah, so it's kind of gay. It's gay to choose the woman, you know. Oh shit. Oh man. You see the female there, and vice versa. Lone says also they nerfed Nicole's Harada. Really? How you always be smoke and mirroring us? Okay. Cloud says I don't really have any new games I'm looking out for. Just vibing, just watching some. I kind of. It's weird. I feel like there's like you play video games usually, and then I also kind of watch YouTube videos of games, never really having the like thing to play them. Like I was watching this one video of Pavlov. They have like this big new update, and it's like this awesome World War II inspired update, which looks rad. There's like all these cool guns. It looks like it's kind of responsive. It looks like it's kind of really pretty immersive. Like it looks nice. And I'm kind of like, ooh, I want to play it, but I'm also like, what do I do? I don't know if I do it soon or no. But I'm kind of just like, I'll just watch other people play it for a couple hours and see if I'm still into it. You know, it's a good barrier of like, okay, I still want to do this. Because you gotta spend the money and all that stuff. Fluff says you'll just need an input switch for a separate monitor, keyboard, and mouse for second. Yeah, I already have a keyboard mouse. I've already bought like 3 mouse or computers over the years, so I got like random shit in a box. It's like, here's the cheapest mouse you would ever want, and if it's for the stream, then sure. I would prefer to have like a touch, like a mouse, like a touchpad for the one thing, because you're not going to be doing any crazy movements when it comes to the stream computer, etc. Yeah. You'll want to assemble the PC carefully, avoid static, so don't do it whilst wearing socks, or I'm going to be completely nude. No, I'm kidding. Especially, I'm going to be on doing it. Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth. Red's here. What's good, Red? Red he made the suggestion of like, we should do it on stream. But guys, I can't even imagine. Like, I already have a very silent, I think, like, I hope you guys don't notice. I look back at gameplay footage of myself, like when I'm editing a stream or something like that. No, a while ago I did that. And I could tell, like, I'm pretty good about, like, not signaling that I am extremely anxious, basically. Like, I can only imagine I'm like, what do I do next? I gotta read the manual, and then I'm reading the manual, and I'm passively thinking of, like, it's almost like hanging out with friends and then doing something that is like completely separate from them. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta disconnect for 20 minutes and do this thing by reading the manual, and your friends are sitting there. I feel it feels like shit for me. I don't know what I mean. I think when a person's in my space or in my environment, I feel like they are owed some sort of communication, values, anything. You know, maybe I'm fucked up, but yeah. I mean, I think a good rule of thumb is to do as much as I can by myself, and then to maybe be like, okay, we're gonna play ZZZ or something, because it's gonna be here in probably like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or we're gonna play some other game, and then I'll basically, like, the beginning part of the stream will be like, hey, I'm confused about this, and then I'll pivot my camera, point it at my PC, and be like, okay, here's the problem, I'm not sure what to do with this, and then each day we'll make a little bit of ground, and hopefully we'll get it going. But I'm not sure I can do a whole ass stream. You know what I mean? Like, bang. Cloud says, yeah, exactly, just chilling and vibing. If I get the urge to get a game, yeah, you get. TBH, I am saving my money, so I don't really want to buy any games. It's a good idea. What kind of thing you saving for, Cloud? What kind of thing you saving for? I'm curious. Hopefully it's VR. I'm sure it's not VR, but it would be cool for it. Fluff says, I picked up a lot of games during the autumn sale, mostly Survivor and roguelike, RoboQuest, and Souls Survival. Oh, did you buy that fucking bundle? That, like, bundle that was had a bunch of, like, these, I think it was like Souls games. It looked like kind of like 2D Soul games. Cool. I bought 3 VR games for $40. One of them is going to be a video that I don't want to tell you guys about, but we will definitely also stream, but it might be a month later because I'm going to have to edit the video. Fuck me dead, does that take a long time? So, yeah. Fluff says, also, Risk of Rain, Skull the Hero Slayer, Cult of the Lamb is a diamond in there. Ooh, Dead Cell I heard great things about. Slay the Spire. Death Must Die. Is that the one? It's almost like the same as Dead Cell kind of formula. Not like the same like perspective, more like Hollow Knight, I guess. But there was a cool death thing I seen, which is like a speedrun game. I watched a video about speedrunning it. Anyways, eventually, roguelike / light and survivor games have become my favorite genre. I was about to say that those are all those. Yeah, I don't know, man. Fluff, did you enjoy New Vegas or Skyrim? Oh, you enjoyed Skyrim. Did you enjoy base Skyrim? Because to me, like, my favorite games, if you were to tell me a couple years ago what would be your favorite games, like, genre to play, it is first-person RPG. I love it. I love it so much. I loved Oblivion. I love Skyrim. I love New Vegas. I love Fallout 3. I like New Vegas way more. I like Fallout 4. I like Fallout 4. It's good, but it just didn't have the same essence of Fallout New Vegas, I think. Anyways, but like those are my favorite games. And then recently, the only thing that makes me think it is genuinely like I think RPG first-person shooter type of games has changed to be really, really boring. Like they feel very uninspired. With like feel kind of uninspired, and they seem like they don't. It's like it's weird. It's so weird, dude. It feels like I was thinking about this the other day. It feels like to today's gaming, when it comes to AAA games, you either get a reboot or a remaster of something that is tried and tested, and in that remaster, you get some actually really great innovations. Like you get some really creative things about them adding in this, changing this mechanic up, making this better, because everything else, there's such a high hit rate of you're going to be happy with all this other stuff, we can try some new shit. So you get some like actual decent creativity from like the Resident Evil remake and all that stuff, which is hilarious. But then if you take a game that is a new IP, it is the most uninspired thing. It's brand new, but it's almost like they blow their load on the this idea of it basically being like, okay, yeah, it's an RPG, but it's gonna be like an RPG that it's like strictly, it looks beautiful, but there's not gonna be any really power system. We're not gonna give you like the ability to like, I don't know, you get a fucking deck of cards and you're a mage and you can like whip those deck of cards into someone's face, and like it's basically just like a swarm power, but we wanted to be magic-y, so we did it with cards. And you can just paper cut the fuck out of people, and then you can get like adamantite cards. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. So my favorite genre is dying because if people are just soulless about it. They don't actually put anything like, hey, let's make a quest that is like super unique. You can totally miss it, but it gives you an amazing reward that's unique. Maybe even an item that's build defining. Good. But no, it's crazy to me that we're living in a world where like remakes are more creative and inspired because the people are actually trying shit than like a brand new IP that is the most cookie cutter, like super careful thing. The only reason why I do think it is not just me, but it is actually like the way and state of gaming right now, is because of Outer Worlds. If I didn't play the Outer Worlds and thought like, oh, you can play a really inspired, really creative, it's a little bit smaller, there's a little bit less there, but what is there is at least unique, and it still has the hallmarks of RPG, and it's also a first-person game, which I love dearly. Fuck yeah. So like the Outer Worlds is the only thing that makes me think that like we're in a bad first-person RPG way, even third-person RPG way, I think, outside of like MMOs. But I don't want a fucking MMO. I want like I want to be the center of the world in this magical environment. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you for letting me ramble. That was my TED Talk. Let's move on. Fluff says, the roguelikes are your favorite? Yeah. Fluff says, as for ZZZ, I'm mostly looking forward to the Bulbog character, Ben, Grace, Howard, and Koldia specifically. I feel like ZZZ is in a really awesome category of I'm excited for anyone who I can meet, basically. Like, every character looks so strange and different and, like, stylized and unique that, like, everyone looks really unique and awesome, to where I just feel like it's whoever has the best personality. But it's kind of hilarious because, like, it's like, in a world of beautiful people, what matters the most? Personality, because everyone's fucking gorgeous. So in the same way, in a world where everyone looks kind of sick, what matters most? It's the personality. It's their character. It's their dialogue. It's the story around them, and stuff like that. One says, Grin, think of it like when you are doing a puzzle in a game on stream, and it'll go great. You'll put that puzzle together in no time. No, is this the meme? Is this the joke within the joke? What do you call it? Doing puzzles on stream gives me a heart attack because I'm like, I'm not getting it. I'm slowing down. I'm getting more impatient. I'm confused. Why can't it work? Let me try to think of this. It's not working out. And then it just starts. You're just better off to be like. But if I was by myself, I'd just be like, that's not it. Is it this? No. This? Okay. And it was significantly faster. But those moments of... those moments of hold silence. Too much. I guess I do pause and read a little bit, so I guess you guys do get that. But for me, when I intentionally do it, I'm like, I think it's because my whole like, I was forged in the era of Let's Plays, which was, and I tried to be high energy as well. So it's like this. Yeah, silence to me is like it's good, but it's also terrifying. Makes sense. Fluff says, seems like Grace uses the SMG's electric grenade and her design and simple and clean. Yeah, that's true. The one character I find is that the girl who looks like she's just like a cyberpunk character. It's funny because she looks. I like what she uses. I just wish she had some like color changes. Like I wish there was some sort of like this guy. He looks pretty chill, but he has like that bright red jacket that I feel like gives him a really like sharp. It stands out, where she kind of does a lot of flashy stuff, but is the most flashy, colorful kind of out of the lot, which is interesting. I feel like they should give her more effects, maybe. So that way she's just like a kind of like a bright effect generator to counter the lack of color in her kit. Although I guess maybe people could love green, and that could be a good thing. I feel like green is more of like I don't notice green very much, Maybe it's because marketing green is like always used because it makes things brighter. Huh. Fluff says, also VTuber stats report I'll get that in a minute. Cloud says just some furniture and new clothes because mine are falling apart. Ooh, gonna get some clothes and furniture. Who gets that's ooh man, that's some adult thing right there. Furniture, man. Nothing will break you more like going furniture shopping and realizing, God, Jesus, like it's one of the things that like it's a flex of wealth. But if you go into a person's house, like your friend's house, or even like you go to hang with one of your buddies and whatever, my God, if they have like a really nice looking couch, shit is like 4K. Like it's fucked. It's just and yeah, it's brutal. It is brutal. It's like when you see like a couch that looks really good thrown on the side of the not really good, but like a used couch on the side of the street, there's a reason why people will just grab it, even though it's rat infested and shit. It's because furniture is psychotically expensive. Specifically things like couches, like yeah, that's why IKEA fucking is like crushing it, because they're like, let's make a desk, but let's fill it with cardboard so we can basically chimp out on the cedar or wood that would take to make it, and that way people can actually afford it. And as long as bitches aren't getting power bombed on that goddamn table, we cooking, we're good, okay, and profit. I do love seeing shit like that though, where people just like fucking just slightly punch a table and it's just all made of basically like, it's basically like an eggshell, where as soon as there's a compromise, your hand just falls through. Flash says VTuber status report. Here we go. Following for ages, so that's fun. That would be the most hype thing ever. The only thing, Fluff, that to me would fuck me up a little bit is, well, wait, is it like it would be really hype to me if they weren't a part of an organization. I still feel very strange about that idea of like the content creation person that you've been following for a while, that you've been seeing content create for a long time. Sorry for the dogs. Basically like leave their old channel and audience behind to work for a company and then do it in a different place. Like that feels a little weird to me as a viewer. But if they're just like, hey, I wanted to start like kind of a reboot of what we do and who I am, and like a different attack and all that stuff, that would be hype. If what do you call it? If one of my people who I've been watching for a while said, hey, I'm just gonna do this as I forget what Fluff always calls it, but it's like freelance, or it's like indie. I think it's called indie basically, but so like they're not under a subsidiary company. But that's awesome. I'd be fucking juiced, dude. I'd be so excited if that happened. Especially if the only thing that I do think is nice is if you had a content creator that was kind of like not really outputting content as much as they used to, and then they get like kind of like a more of a job setting, so they're actually more accountable for their time, and they actually have to like, they have a team that can help them create content so that you get more content, and that can kind of be nice, I guess. But yeah. Also, Cloud says, I think small studios just like I play it safe because they want to reach a lot of people to have good fan base to make different games or more creative ones. It could be studios. It could be studios. I feel like I can count on one hand where I can find a good first-person or third-person RPG recently. And I should say, what I really crave in an RPG is complexity, like depth of complexity, kind of. It's not even that. It's just creativity. Maybe you're right, Cloud. It's just creativity. Like I love the idea of when somebody's making a big world that they're like, hey, let's put a really imbalanced ring that you can get by doing this weird old woman's quest who's a hermit in the woods, where you go and talk to her, and she basically says, hey, can you do this weird thing for me? And you do, and she's like, hey, by the way, I used to be an ex-adventurer or an ex-important person. Here's an artifact that I used to have. Hopefully it'll take care of you. Maybe there's a part 2 to the quest where it makes it even better, but you have to be, like, it's way when you get later in the game. Something like that. Like, there's not even anything that's been anything like that in any of the RPGs I've played. Not even in, the only game that did it was really Fallout New Vegas, where they put, like, unique weapons in certain, like, background caves and shit, which were neat. But more or less, it's pretty not like that, unfortunately. Let me catch my name. Fluff says, I enjoy Western RPGs of most games, but I'd have to agree. It seems like there's become very bland or an attempt to reiterate, something like Skyrim, kind of recreate Skyrim to a sense. But even Skyrim had those kind of like interesting things where you could go get like a couple things that are unique around the map and that they can kind of give you an advantage, like a robe of regeneration or something like that. Fluff says AA games have become fairly generic. Gotta look for the indies to accept they have a ratio R to. I know, but to me it's like it's so fucking annoying because like I don't know, it's tough. It's so tough because indie usually means like a limitation, which sucks. Like imagine if we were able to get something that actually swung for the rafters and was unique. But the fucking thing that drives me nuts, dude, is that whenever there's a company like a Xbox or something that does that is like, hey, swing for the rafters. Try something that is really creative, unique. It's always like they give the money to the worst person to give that money to. You want a person who is a realist to have that level of wealth and access, essentially. Because I always see, it's basically like they make the most convoluted Hideo Kojima. I'm sure people love it, but it's not something that most people are probably going to have the stomach to sit through. They make like the most long, convoluted quests, which is just hyper masturbatory. They like put all of the money into like the designing the graphics, despite they're like almost irrelevant, you know. It's just like one of those things where it's like, man, can you give it to someone who made like a great example in the era of Xbox versus Sony, Sunset Overdrive. In those kinds of games, Sunset Overdrive is like one of the best examples of like someone who just fucking fully sent it, and unfortunately didn't do well, which maybe is a testament to why they didn't do it. But Sunset Overdrive, fucking crazy shell shaded, awesome graphics. It wasn't like the most detailed skin texture you've ever seen. You could fucking grind on shit. You had like 50 types of like enemies coming at you all at once. You had the most like beautiful fireworks. You had style. You had character. Fucking Sunset Overdrive was great. But god damn it, that's kind of what I mean, opposed to like, what's it called? The game we played that was made by the people who made Final Fantasy. It's Cuff and the lady. All I remember is Cuff because he was the best part of the game. But yeah. A great game is also Hi-Fi Rush. It's a great game, but I wouldn't say Hi-Fi Rush had like the same budget where they just fully swung for the rafters, you know? Anyways. Cloud says, I think small studios just like to play it safe because they want to reach a lot of people, to have good fan base, to make games or more than creative. Yeah, the thing I think though, it's a fallacy a little bit because I feel like the more you like, there's so many games that are the same and they cost a lot of money to make. It's almost like you get trapped in this fallacy of like, oh, it's almost like for me for a long time, if you only were to do YouTube research about like what is the most popular thing ever, what is getting people's attention, all that stuff, you'll basically just be like, you'll completely get smothered. You still need to do something that differentiates yourself or makes yourself interesting, because largely like Hi-Fi Rush is basically just a slasher. Like it's like DMC, all that kind of stuff. But instead, it's like, well, what can we do something that's unique about that same genre? Let's add something that actually makes it like creative and unique, and it's the rhythm mechanic. And it works so well in that game. In fact, like the level design in that game is not crazy. It doesn't seem like it's like super massive like Dark Souls where it's interweaving in itself and shit. But anyways, but yeah, that's something that I hope we get an improvement in the next couple of years, is actually trying stuff. Yeah. I wanted to say that was like Xbox could have been that, but then man, I don't know, ever since Red Dawn, whatever it's called, that one game that they made, that was like, I thought that was going to be really unique, but again, it was the same thing. That was the best. Is it Red Dawn? Dawn Red? It's the vampire game. Maybe it is Red Dawn. I don't know. But it's the vampire game that recently came out. It is the most like cookie cutter game you've ever seen, while simultaneously doing like something interesting. Like it's almost like a really interesting prompt, like vampires. You're like a part of 4 survivors, and you're getting haunted. The whole city's being haunted by vampires. Sounds fucking lit. Sounds amazing, dude. And then they're like, yeah, but it's like the gameplay. You shoot an enemy, they die. You maybe have to run at them with a spike, and you stab them. You have to do this hundreds of times. Okay, maybe you can go to a camp and get the camp, and it's your camp now, and you have a safe spot. When you're done that, it's done. You'll never do anything again. Hey, there's a quest. You go do this quest for an old lady in an apocalypse. Guess what? You get a colored weapon of a rarity type. Yeah, okay. You don't get a special weapon that's unique to the lady who just made the weapon for you, despite it's not that expensive to make people remodel shit. Modders do it all the time for like no money, and they do it in a day, make it like a fucking amazing weapon that looks super unique. Kill me. That's what I mean. That's what I'm seeing patterns of, and I hope fucking Xbox chills, because at least Sony is actually really good about that. About like they swing for the rafters. There wasn't a lot. Maybe they did. I feel like what do you call it? People could argue that God of War Ragnarok, or God of War, the reboot of God of War, was like, oh, they just did what they did with Last of Us. I call bullshit. What do you call it? They took what Last of Us did, and then they made it like infinitely better by adding like better difference of environments. They also added like complexity of gameplay rather than just point, shoot, done, or point, craft, maybe shoot, hide. They made it so much more intricate, and they did it with 2 different types of characters, and the gameplay was fucking fire. Yeah. So Sony's got a better handle on it, but then they do fucking the goddamn sequel to Horizon that it also feels very uninspired. I don't know. I think, yeah, to your point, Cloud, it could be studios, because contrast like the studio who's made Killzone, which made Horizon, which is notorious for basically being like, the first Killzone was sick, but then the subsequent Killzones were just like basically the same as the first one, but like with different instances. And then you contrast that with people who made God of War, and fuck me dead, are they just like, oh, we'll just keep upping the ante, we'll keep adding shit and making it even better? Because I haven't heard one person say that like God of War Ragnarok isn't like 30 times better than the first one. Even the first one was a game of the year, great game still, which is wild. Anyway, sorry. Talked a lot, forgive me. Okay, let me catch up. Lalone says, in ZZZ, I want to try Nicole, obviously the blue. Oh, yeah, but to me, if I were to categorize them, even though I kind of am happy, I want to see what the personalities are about. I want to try the Oni. I like the gun guy, and there was one other person who I thought looked kind of sick, but I forget what they were. We looked at them a while ago, and I was like, God damn. I think it was Billy. She was like the tiny little red-haired chick that's just fucking like crazy. I feel like all the characters I liked were going to be the same. They all sound like tanks, which sucks that like tanks have a look to them that I always like, but I despise the gameplay of tank. I don't despise the gameplay of tank. I just think not a lot of games do a good tank. Like make it fun to play a tank. It's always just like, you just have more health. I'm like, okay, great. Can I spend my health for damage or something? Can I absorb damage and then like punch someone hard as shit? Maybe? No? Okay. Also, what's good, Daves? What's good, Daves? Give me a minute. I'm gonna scroll up. For those guys who do not understand what's going on, today is our Saturday stream, in which I basically, it's just our podcast hangout, catch up as a community kind of stream. So I try not to leave any comment behind. So I will eventually get to your comment. Forgive me. Yeah, it's kind of like this is our main thing of just talking. It's just straight at the thing. where did I, okay, Fluff says, we're in the roguelike, Souls-like era. Thankfully, the Battle Royale era, that's just hard, the era fucking me up, has been fading, but we've all long since lost the most other genre trends that came before. Yeah, I feel like we're on the tail end of Battle Royale. There was a minute there where, like, Battle Royale to me hit like a truck, and then I think Fortnite proved, it was one of the first things I've ever seen prove this, but you can keep your crown if you're willing to, like, be really, really clever about it. Like, so often do we see, like, a person, like, come out, like, even that happened with Fortnite and PUBG. PUBG came up with an idea, and they just never really iterated upon it, and they never, like, it seemed like they made a ton of money without really investing back into the game. And then Fortnite came out, and it seems like because they're epic games, so they already have, like, a shit ton of money coming in because developers are using their engine, they basically could just take all of the money that Fortnite made and just dump it into, like, developing it even more. And sure as shit, they've made billions more. Like, it's just wild. But Fortnite's one of the few companies that, like, I've seen so many other battle royales come out since Fortnite, and none have survived, with one exception being Apex Legends, which I think Apex Legends is more of like a hero shooter than it is a fucking battle royale at this point, you know. I guess the other Call of Duty game did well, that Warzone, but again, I think that makes sense too, because that's just like Call of Duty, I think. That you have Lone says, who is Grace? Who is Grace? Also, what's good, Element? What's good, Element? Element says, hey, Grin, thanks for all the great Let It Die videos back in the day. Appreciate that, Element. Appreciate you enjoying those videos. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the new update, although I don't know if I'll cover it, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed that new update. Like New Vegas, like Obsidian, basically, so I really can't handle it, man. I really, like, to me, it sounds great. Like, Obsidian has complete full reign, and to mold, that could maybe get bogged down. Like, I think one of the best things to, as a creative, if you're going to do something creative, is to actually box yourself in, to like give yourself, because when everything's an option, nothing is. You'll just get completely watered down, and you won't even know where to go. You get lost. So the fact that you have some sort of person saying, like, it's why we find a cool angle. But yeah. Fluff says, there is an upcoming, thank you so much, Fluff. Fluff just subscribed to the Twitch why is my alerts not working? Fluff just subscribed to the Twitch, with the Twitch Prime sub, been subscribed for 48 goddamn months. Thank you so Fluff says, Grace is the newest revealed member of the Ball Bug. They're in the trailer. They recently revealed, okay, I think I've seen someone, recently regress. They're in the testing period. They show off alongside the rest of the. That person. I might have missed it. Oh, is this her? Nope. Yes. Maybe. Nope. That's an enemy. Never mind. This is the problem with reading chat in a delayed way. Okay. Lone says, hold on, I'm looking her up. Let's see. Fluff says, they nerfed Nicole as Grace can show off the sporty look. Okay, I see. I mean, it's hilarious though. People get, I don't know, I'm not gonna say shit, but I will say Nicole did look like I am not shocked that there's a problem. You know what I mean? Oh, her. Okay. Anyways, I was gonna say, the one when everyone's seen the pink-haired girl, everyone's thought was like, Jesus, that is a lot. That is pushing it, so to speak. Cloud Kid says, I'll make life easier for you, Grin. So I'll type here. Now, thank you, Cloud. I appreciate it. You can be wherever you feel most comfortable. Yeah, I try to keep it balanced. Like if there's a person who comments on Twitch, I try to go talk to Twitch just in case, just so I'm not being a dickhead about Twitch. But wherever you feel comfortable, as long as you're patient with me. Some people get like real fucking annoyed. We're like, I wrote a message. Why didn't you talk to me instantly? And they're like, man, I'm surviving out here. So as long as you're patient, I'll get to you eventually, and hopefully I can see what you guys are saying. Fluff says, it's essentially getting a new job. If things don't work out, I can only hope she returns to her previous channel, possibly join Rishoujo, since it has become the postgraduate home. Okay, yeah. Hopefully it all works out. It seems like she's still like by herself. She's not with a part of the company yet. Lone says, "All right, Fluff, I'm sold on Grace." Fluff says, "So Remnant, it thing used to be, you get a legendary weapon that is like build defining and is amazing, and it used to be really, really fun. So like this, let me talk about that within Remnant. Remnant, I feel like, is this weird mix of like a bunch of things. Like I wouldn't even really consider Remnant an RPG game, which I know is crazy because it has really good RPG mechanics, but I just wouldn't consider that to be really an RPG because it's such to me the atmosphere and the uniqueness of it makes it almost something within itself, or unique within itself. Like it does 6 things really well, so I can't really say that it almost becomes this weird hybrid thing. You know what I mean? It's hard to describe, but my brain doesn't go to RPG when I think of Remnant. But Remnant's a good example for how I feel about, I guess, looter shooters. Where like, my ideal looter shooter is basically what we got in Borderlands 1. Borderlands 2 kind of had it, but Borderlands 1 to me was the best version of it, where not only is it an effect, so like a legendary has this unique faculty to it, where it shoots fire, maybe it ignites people instantly, maybe it has high status, which is what that would kind of be, maybe it gives you immunity phase or something, maybe when you hold down the reload, you put your hand on the barrel or on the ammo of the double barrel shotgun, and you crank some energy into that, and then you crank the double barrel shot, locked it closed, and you can shoot someone with like even more power. Maybe it feeds off of your health instead, and just mana or something. Anyways, but what Borderlands 1 did is it had the template of a weapon, like an anarchy, which is basically a weapon that can spawn in like ×2 or even ×4, and then there were a bunch of like tiny parts that made it so like this is fucking amazing. And that to me, I wish it was streamlined. It's funny, Wonderlands was close. Like their system of what they did in Wonderlands, where basically they showed like you have a 5-star, you have the 5-star legendary that's built into the legendary drop. Awesome. And then you have these like 3 other bonus effects, which can be like 2-star and then 1-star. And maybe they want to release something in the future called Pearlescent, which would give you one more stack, like one more tier that you can have on a weapon. And those things will change the weapon, and in a big way. It can't just be like, it's more accurate, because it's fucking stupid. It could be like what Borderlands 2 did, which is it's more accurate the longer you're firing it. So that way, if you have an automatic shotgun, you shoot it for two little bursts, and it's kind of wily, but then it tightens in like a bullet or like a sniper, and that feels good. So there's this, because right now when I got an item in Remnant, Remnant 2, I was excited, but then I kind of, to me, I was also replacing what was already kind of a part of my build, and it kind of started cannibalizing it, and it didn't feel like I could ever have like multiple, like Borderlands, you could have like a handful of guns on you, and also, like, it would be one thing if I could get the same thing that I already got, but it was significantly better with a better roll. But so many games don't do the roll thing better because they either give you like passive starred ratings that give you just like a bunch of flat damage, which is always the best, or like a really convoluted like accuracy or recoil bonus, which no one would want. Yeah. Anyways, so like the looter shooter genre to me, there was a time where I would have wanted every game to be a looter shooter. I fucking love the loot system, but so many games have missed the mark, I think, of what makes that whole environment exciting. It's not seeing gold, dude. It's not seeing gold spring up from an item. It's seeing seeing gold spring up from an item and it synergized perfectly with what you're trying to play with. And then it making you excited that you could get a better version of this exact same thing. And then it could be even more efficient and it could feed into a really unique play style, you know, things like that. Or Baldur's Gate 3. No, because to me, again, I knew as soon as I was going to say I haven't played a good RPG that's first person or third person in a while. People are going to mention Baldur's Gate. It was one thing game I was thinking about when I was describing a game that's really unique, that does a lot of cool story things, that has special like things that you can do that give you a mass advantage if you happen to know to do them or to go there or to get this thing. Baldur's Gate is one of the best examples ever. If Baldur's Gate was either a first-person game like Oblivion or Skyrim, or a third-person game like Uncharted or anything like that, Baldur's Gate is a top-down. You're looking at a chess piece move around a world, which is not the same as third person to me, at least not to me. But literally, I would like Baldur's Gate is the ideal for me, but just make it first person. And I would, because I want to be in that world. Like it's such a fucking atrocity that it's such a beautiful world with like infinite complexity, with beautiful map design, but you can't actually like be in that world. I think Baldur's Gate, by the way, it's not just a top-down game, but it is also like it's like a you get a turn and then I get a turn, which is not what I want. I want to like that's why Skyrim I think does so well, or like any sort of Oblivion game, is because not only are we going to throw you into a RPG, which is a role-playing, world-building experience, but you're going to be as close to experiencing that world as possible. Some people like first person, like myself. Other people like third person, like Red. And you, to each their own, you know, but it's still like you want to be able to feel like you're walking around and exploring that world rather than even in combat. Like the fact that it's that guy's turn, then it's my turn, just kills it for me. Like just completely shatters it, which I know sucks. Like I wish it didn't. But yeah. The Baldur's Gate 3 has a lot of loot tucked away behind side quests, various nooks and crannies. Yeah, see, that sounds awesome to me. Again, I've always thought that when I see Baldur's Gate 3, I was like, man, if only this was just just a little bit knocked one iota to the right of what I like. Unlike a regular D&D, Baldur's Gate 3 has a lot of built-in shaping gear and yeah. All that stuff to me is amazing. Also, it could be stuff like that's not even gear. It could be like I had this idea when I was thinking about a story for like a quest in Skyrim or something like that. I thought it'd be really cool if there was a quest in any of these games, whether it's Avowed or something like that. But say you're walking, because a lot of times when you're exploring in Skyrim, you're walking on the roads. Imagine if you were walking on the road and you heard this noise, and in the gutter was this like person who was covered in dirt, and you were basically given the quest and prompt to basically take this person who is basically passed out on the edge of death, and basically take her to the nearest inn. And you have to pick her up, and it's slow. You basically can't sprint while you're holding someone, and then you have to walk all the way to the inn. As like there may be like it's kind of like that scene from Cyberpunk where you're like carrying the lifeless. Yeah. Anyways, so then you go to the inn, and you have two options. You can either sit there and wait, pay the inn guy a bunch of money. He'll basically take care of everything, clean her, all that stuff. She'll be good, heal her, all that stuff. And you can basically either stay, or you can like wait for her to wake up, or you can leave. Just kind of like do a good deed, help this person out, and then leave. And based on what you choose, you basically get a massive chunk of. This is a companion, by the way. This is like the start of a companion quest. That's how it would be neat. But stuff like that to me would be so much more impactful. From you go to the Companions Guild. There's a bunch of beefy people here. Hey, random person, can you hang out with me and come fight things with me? Sure, you're part of the same guild as me. Why not? I'll run into fucking death for you. Random stranger I just met for 2 seconds. Great. Yeah, opposed to a story like this of like a companion that has all of the reason to get stronger because you're the person that literally pulled them out of the muck. That to me is really meaningful and a really like good version of introducing a companion to someone. That's to me at least creative and interesting, especially for what you could do after that. Why is she fucking half dead in a canyon or in a gutter? If you basically gave her a bunch of money, healed her up, and then didn't even need to get any thanks, that could mean that you're a wonderful person and you're even more worthy of respect, and therefore you get like 30% bonus to her affinity or something like that, or their affinity. It could be dude, it doesn't matter. But like things like that are also what I mean by like creative things within video games, like RPGs, that I don't know why we don't see anymore. And I know always the answer is that's so complicated to do. I don't know if it is, especially with like the more I am in the modding community and I know the timelines of someone's idea into actual iteration. It's not absurd, especially when you like that's one person. Like these VR games are made by one person. Who's doing like, and it's a functional game that you could actually buy and justify $60 for, but they sell for $20 because that's the best they can get. But like that's what I mean. So I don't think it's always just like that's too complicated to do, you know, especially when they spend 20 hours designing like a dungeon that you're going to experience in a minute and be done with it, you know. Not that map design isn't important, but yeah, I think moments are important more. Fluff says indie VTubers tend to have a rely on tips and sponsorships, whilst agencies VTubers get paid a salary. Do they not also make money on their like subscriptions and stuff like that? They must make a percentage. It must be like a percentage split, because I would feel surprised if they didn't get money from like their subscribers and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. That's tricky. I feel like it'd be much, depending on what kind of person you are, I think it could be much better to be indie, essentially. But also there's a lot of value in like having other people be like, we could set up something that's not going to take you away from your current thing to basically build this thing out and stop. Yeah, Redfall, that's what it's called. What was I saying? Red Dawn, Redfall, I was one of them. Thank you, Fluff. Red says Sunset Overdrive was awesome, right? Fucking so good. It's amazing because it's the Xbox, when it was in its Xbox One was in its heyday. It had two really, really cool things. And I think it perfectly describes like a bunch of people. When I mention the game Sunset Overdrive, I feel like people who played it, they're like, dude, I didn't know what I had. It's been 20 years, or not 20, it's been 6 years or 7 years or something since I've had a game like that again. And I thought I was going to keep getting them. But no, sure shit we weren't. I didn't know what I had when I had it. But if we contrast that with the other game that came out, which I have heard no one mention, like fucking no one, it's called Rise, Son of Rome. To me, this was one of the biggest disconnects I remember I ever had when I was like streaming. I was talking about this game where some people were like, "It's a really good game." I fucking hated it. It was the most. I wasn't even the kind of person that ever hated like QuickTime events in video games. I didn't really mind them. I just thought whatever. But that game had so many fucking QuickTime events that it makes you hate it. And the game basically was the best like story about, we're gonna dump every fucking penny into how beautiful this game looks, which honestly makes sense for what the Xbox was trying to do. It was trying to showcase how pretty things could look. Sure. We're going to dump as much into that. And then Sunset Overdrive was the best example of, we're just going to make the most fun, creative mess of a video game that also works. Blah. And one people remember exceedingly fondly, and then one you'll also see over the years has probably made significantly more money than Rise, Son of Rome. The Sunset Overdrive, I guarantee, has made significantly more money than that one, just because as time goes on, it becomes more and more of a unique thing. Oh, so good. Oh my god, my tea is so delicious now. I have like this special brand. I'm not sure. Has anyone ever had guarana or guarana? Fucking, it's like a coffee bean substitute thing, but if you ever had it in a tea, will you let me know what it tastes like? Because I think it's exactly what this tastes like, which is like very florally, but it's fucking amazing. Fluff says, although I will recommend RoboQuest, it's a first-person shooter, roguelike with co-op, and a lot of Doom Eternal-esque energy. Ooh, interesting. I haven't heard that, but that sounds interesting. I might have to look that up. Fluff, send me a Discord message so I can see it pop up in the Discord messenger. I'll be like, oh, Fluff, message me quickly. I'll go look at it, and then I'll see it, because I'll forget. But man, that RoboCop game looked awesome. It's one of those things where if I had an abundance of time, let me tell you, I would have loved to play that, because that looked pretty wild. Like blow people's dick off and stuff. It's crazy. Also, Davies says, I miss your Let It Die streams. Will you ever play Let It Die again? I played the game for like 3 or 4 years. I covered it for even more. I very much have loved that game. I have a bunch of reverence in my heart for it. But I think I'm doing this is what I was going to mention when someone basically Element came into the Twitch chat and said, "Hey Grin, I love all the videos you made of Let It Die back in the day." I want to talk about this again. This is kind of my new spiel. I'll probably be saying whenever someone pops in and talks about Let It Die. Hi. Basically, I really I love the game to bits. There is a brand new update in Let It Die right now that is adding transmog, that is adding bonus floors based on the faction. There is a revamp of a higher nightmare tier difficulty for a black or white steel. And likely will probably be one correlating with the expansion of Tengeku with each faction, like Red Napalm will probably get a bonus when the Tengeku War Assembly faction gets released as well. So, right as I do not think it is a good idea to keep feeding the Let It Die thing, because I don't think I'll ever go back and play it. I played it for so long and there hasn't been anything substantial in a long time. If Let It Die comes back in a massive way with the reboot, the one where they're porting like Deathverse to the thing, I'll check it out maybe. I still don't know if I should cover it though. The reason why is because I would much rather have like an anime channel or a VR channel than to have a hyper specific rogue-like game. Even though I love the game, but I can't keep playing that one type of hyper specific niche forever. And also I didn't love the genre to begin with. I made videos because I really wanted to make people happy who were lost and frustrated with the game, just like I was. So every single time I keep covering it, I keep signals to YouTube that like I'm covering this type of game. And that's one of the kind of regrets I have. I wish I would have started a brand new streaming channel, essentially, because I'm almost certain that that's like icy streamers essentially who have like 10 views pop up in my suggested feed when I'm just perusing YouTube essentially. But I think YouTube is just like it was stupid. It was stupid to basically assume I should have asked myself this question: is the Let It Die audience that you've cultivated are they the same audience that would like live streams? No, maybe if it was Let It Die or any sort of roguelike game, maybe. Are you going to do that? No. Why would you keep this channel and make it that? Because it was monetized. Well, you're just gonna slow yourself down then. You know what I mean? Because yeah, yeah. But anyways, I don't regret it. It could have been a better choice, so to speak. Also, don't fall, please, microphone. That could totally fall. I'm sorry in advance if that makes a lot of noise. But yeah, also, what do you call it? How painful is it that Let It Die, just as I'm coming to the realization of it, I keep reinforcing a very bad habit, that it's like, by the way, I'm finally updating myself and giving myself content for you to cover. And I'm like, I'm left you. Stop texting me, X, okay? Golly. But I'm happy you guys enjoyed the Let It Die content. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed it. Love says, games like Hi-Fi Rush are essentially AA games. What the heck? Oh, my chat just fucking snapped to the bottom. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? God damn it, man. Fucking thing threw me all the way to the bottom. Oh, my stream, is it still dying? Is it balanced out? Well, I was saying shit that you guys will never hear about. Is it still fucked? Can you tell me if it's still broken? Or did it balance out? Did it balance out? I'm reading at the very bottom of the YouTube chat. Is it still fucked? I am patiently waiting for someone to tell me if it's still broken. Give me... Is it back? Are we okay? Or is it still shitting itself? Why? It says it's back. It's been disconnecting and reconnecting. The stream is stabilized a while ago. Okay, good. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm going back up to chat. I'm not missing any comment. Sorry about that. If there is ever something like that, try to go to the Twitch chat, because Twitch chat has been dead for a while. So that'll be a message that gets me quick. It's kind of a lot of mental gymnastics to do, so I understand if you don't want to do it. Anyways, also, what's good, Raid? I didn't say hi. Hello, Raid. How are you? How's your day? How was your sleep? Well, this is one justification for the PC. Is it? I don't know, because it doesn't say like CPU overloaded. So I wonder if it's also my internet. I just might need to yell at my providers and be like, we pay for this. We deserve consistently of this, because it just dips. But that's kind of kill your stream. So yeah. But maybe not. Maybe it is like an overcoat, because I don't know. It shouldn't be overloading. Like, let me see. How much processing power am I using? Oh, don't look at that. My shame. Yeah, we're using like 32 of the CPU, 50% of the memory, 17% of the GPU. Yeah, so it shouldn't be fucking killing itself. It must be an internet thing. I must have to like scream at Twitch. Also, I could update to see if there's a closer server that we're streaming to, because that could also be an issue. But I don't know. I hope it fixes itself. Yeah. Also, I will probably move over to Streamlabs, because there's a lot of cool extensions there. And yes. Oh, Mother Mary. I lost my stake again. I'm just not going to worry about it. I lost my streak. It's all good. Again, you don't need to worry about it. I appreciate it. I don't expect anything. I appreciate it. Let me just tell you that. I will say, though, starting with I have 2 more videos to upload, which I'll probably just spam you guys next week with 2 videos. But then I'm going to start having a segment in every single video from the Mind Palace of Madness channel. That's basically like a part where I pause for like, I don't want to make it any more than like 30 to 20 seconds to just be like, thank you so much for supporting me. I love you so much. These are the people. And that's going to be a consolidation of members on the GRINN channel, which is our streaming channel, and the members or the subscribers on Twitch. So it's going to be both people. I'll probably put both your name in there twice if you're crazy enough to do it twice. But yeah, that is going to be where I put that. Yeah, and I just because I think it'd be nice to. I would really like to have something where I could be like I think it's nice too. Also, I like the idea of I'm making videos now that I hope have the lifespan to be seen in the future and still be enjoyed. So they have so I think it'd be neat if I could encapsulate like the 2 or 3 people who were here at that point, who were riding with me at that point, especially on our streams. I would also like to incorporate the Mind Palace of Madness channel in that same loot pool of like people who are members who are paying supporting me for basically every week, so to speak, or every week, every month. I don't know what it is. But anyway, it's extremely sweet. So if I could have something that I could show that like if one of my older videos happens to do well in the past, they'd see people who were there from the beginning. I think it'd be really neat. But I also don't want it to cannibalize too much with the momentum of the video. It says it's connecting again, but I hope it's fucking fixed. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the heck is broken again. Stream, bugged out on both platforms. Yeah, I don't know. Are we streaming still? I think we're streaming now. It's so fucking annoying, man, because it literally on YouTube it says excellent connection, and then it immediately fucking biffs itself. So it's like, what the heck? Yeah, I'm thinking it has to be, and I as soon as I said it, I like just a minute ago, I was like, this has to be, I'm an idiot. I should have done this a while ago. But like, when you stream, you can ping to a server, and I haven't updated that server in a year, so I'm assuming that there's probably a better server near me, because I think Twitch has been expanding and shit like that, so I probably could do that. So if it goes down again, the thing is though, with YouTube, it's not easy to like reconnect your stream, essentially. You can't like pause your stream and then say, hey, I'm going to try to fix it, and then reconnect to the same live stream. It doesn't do that. Maybe it does. I don't know how to do it. But yeah. Is the audio, what happened? Is it all fucking, am I fucking high pitched? Oh, also I'm not live. Am I high pitched? Why do I become fucking a little mouse? Am I mousing right now? We may have to restart just because I'm fucking Kermit the stupid mouth. I don't like Kermit. Kermit's a very deep voice. Is it still fucked? Am I Kermiting? It's Chipmunk now? Great! I'll be back!